Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been seeing all your comments on TikTok asking me for reviews analysis for this one. So today, it's finally happening. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Now let's not delay any further and jump right into the details.
Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer spent months agonizing over the purchase of this mesh Wi-Fi system. The high cost was a significant deterrent, leading our reviewer to explore numerous alternatives. These included repositioning existing routers, purchasing a new, less expensive conventional router, attempting to pair old and new routers, an ultimately unsuccessful endeavor, and even considering the laborious task of running Ethernet cables throughout the home. This client's frustration and the persistent complaints from their spouse about dropped Wi-Fi connections finally led to the decision to invest in the more expensive system. Extensive research, including reading numerous technical and comparative reviews of this product and its more expensive 6E counterpart, solidified this choice. Ultimately, the consensus among reviews pointed towards this system as the superior option. This client's satisfaction with the purchase is undeniable, but it's tempered with the realization that optimal performance requires a degree of user intervention. Installation proved remarkably straightforward, with the app guiding our reviewer through a smooth, quick initial setup. The signal strength, across both 2, 4 GHz and 5 GHz bands, is outstanding. This client even found this model a superior choice to the newer, more expensive 6E version for reasons discussed later. Furthermore, the generous inclusion of 3 Ethernet LAN ports on the satellite unit allows for wired connections in remote areas of the house, a feature noticeably lacking in many competing mesh systems. The option to use a wired Ethernet backhaul for improved reliability between the base and satellite units is another significant advantage. Despite the positive aspects, our reviewer did note a few minor drawbacks. The limited number of Ethernet ports on the main unit, only 3, compared to the 4 found on most conventional routers, may necessitate the purchase of an Ethernet switch for users with numerous wired devices. More significantly, this client emphasizes that maximizing the system's potential hinges on proactive user configuration. Specifically, assigning static IP addresses to frequently used wireless devices, such as smart home appliances, is crucial for optimal reliability. While this client did experience slightly increased latency in voice commands to smart home assistants, they considered this a minor inconvenience compared to the vastly improved coverage. Our reviewer's advice to potential buyers includes leveraging the mobile app for initial setup, but then transitioning to the web interface for fine-tuning configurations. They also advise against relying solely on the automatic channel selection, especially in densely populated areas. Manually selecting a less congested channel for both bands is strongly recommended. Finally, this client strongly suggests assigning static IP addresses to smart home devices and other critical devices to prevent conflicts and enhance reliability. The rationale behind this is that avoiding the automatic IP address assignment, DHCP, significantly reduces connectivity issues commonly reported by other users. Our reviewer also explains the significant benefits of using separate SSIDs for the 2, 4 GHz and 5 GHz bands, especially for users with numerous smart home devices. This client also offered further detailed configuration advice for Android users. In conclusion, this client's decision to forego the 6E version was strategic, stemming from concerns about the reduced transmission range of the 6 GHz band affecting backhaul performance and potentially negating the benefits of the additional band. This client's in-depth review provides a comprehensive perspective, highlighting both the system's strengths and the user involvement needed to unlock its full capabilities.
Excellent. Let's find out what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer found this mesh Wi-Fi system a significant upgrade from their previous setup. Our reviewer, someone with a higher than average level of technical understanding, described the installation as incredibly simple, taking only about 15 minutes to configure the entire network with both units. This client emphasized that the process was intuitive enough for even a novice user. The accompanying mobile application facilitated a quick and efficient initial setup, though our reviewer noted the more robust web interface is better suited for detailed configuration and ongoing management. The performance of this device far exceeded expectations. This client experienced consistently high speeds, achieving download speeds very close to their internet plans advertised maximum on both the 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz bands. Signal coverage extended throughout their home and even outdoors, eliminating the dead zones they previously encountered. Our reviewer specifically praised the wired backhaul functionality, which worked flawlessly, contrary to some negative reviews they had read. This client did note the importance of verifying cabling, switch compatibility, and router configuration if experiencing any issues with the wired backhaul. While largely positive, our reviewer did mention a few minor drawbacks. The user interface, both on the mobile app and web interface, had a slightly unintuitive learning curve initially, though this client quickly adapted and found it quite manageable. Sporadically low speeds were observed on the 2.4 GHz band, although these instances were infrequent and not significant enough to detract substantially from the overall positive experience. The handling of SSIDs, particularly the default single SSID for both bands and the persistently active wireless backhaul SSID, was another minor point of contention. This client preferred separate SSIDs and planned to explore hiding the backhaul SSID. Ultimately, this client remains overwhelmingly pleased with this system's ease of use and performance, although long-term performance remains to be fully evaluated. Our reviewer expressed some curiosity about the advanced features and the long-term stability of IoT device connections. While this client had no issues with these elements thus far, it remains a consideration for the future. This client found the device's performance impressive, especially when compared to their prior experience with another mesh system, which involved a lengthy and complicated setup process. They had successfully improved coverage and reliability, and replaced what was a difficult-to-use and ultimately unreliable previous setup with this easily managed, high-performance system.
Wonderful. Now, let's explore the feedback from our next reviewer.
This reviewer details their experience with a new mesh Wi-Fi system, highlighting both its strengths and weaknesses. Our reviewer notes that while initial impressions were positive, mirroring the generally favorable reviews found on major tech websites, prolonged use revealed some significant shortcomings. This client emphasizes that these issues only became apparent after weeks of consistent use, a time frame often overlooked in shorter-term product analyses. The most significant problem, according to this client, involved the 2.4 GHz band. Numerous smart home devices, including smart plugs, cameras, and a video doorbell, experienced intermittent connectivity issues, requiring substantial troubleshooting. These problems, our reviewer explains, stemmed from the router's automatic channel selection feature on the 2.4 GHz band, which frequently caused devices to disconnect. Disabling this automatic channel selection and Wi-Fi 6 functionality on the 2.4 GHz band, as well as resorting to manually assigning a fixed channel, were necessary to resolve these connection problems. Even with these adjustments, the video doorbell and security cameras remained unreliable, necessitating the deployment of older Wi-Fi 5 extenders to maintain consistent connectivity for these devices. This client expresses frustration at the need for such a workaround, especially given the significant investment in this new mesh system. The goal of replacing the existing network infrastructure was not fully achieved due to these persistent connectivity issues. Further complicating matters, the satellite unit of the mesh system experienced periodic disconnections, resulting in a significant drop in speed. This issue, too, required a workaround, scheduling weekly automatic reboots. This solution, while effective, points to an underlying software problem, possibly a memory leak, which our reviewer suggests warrants further investigation by the manufacturer. Despite these drawbacks, this client acknowledges several positive aspects. The range of the system is exceptional, delivering a strong and consistent signal throughout their multi-floor home on the 5 GHz band. This client reports achieving speeds exceeding their internet plan's advertised rate. Furthermore, this client finds the aesthetic design of the system to be appealing and unobtrusive, blending seamlessly into the home's decor. Finally, the accompanying mobile application is praised for its user-friendly interface and comprehensive network management capabilities, a welcome change from the limitations of other manufacturers' apps. The availability of a web interface for configuration is also mentioned as a particularly useful feature. In conclusion, while our reviewer expresses satisfaction with the system's overall performance after addressing the connectivity issues, they remain critical of the difficulties encountered, particularly concerning the 2.4 GHz network and the need for weekly reboots. This client ultimately recommends the system, but only after acknowledging the significant effort required to resolve the numerous connectivity problems experienced during the initial weeks of use. Appreciate you watching. If this video helped, like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts below. See you soon.